There we go. Hey everybody, it's Jason Shadrick with Premier Guitar. We're at the Winter NAMM show. We're in the basement and we're with session musician, entrepreneur, bass player, and leader of the Coffee Drinkers.
Yes.
Janek Gwizdala. We're here. And it's kind of an exciting show for you because you have a brand new signature bass here with Mattisson. So tell us a little bit about how, what kind of drew you to Mattisson and how the gem of this idea came together.
Well, I gotta say the first thing we actually talked about was making a extended range 4-string with a triple P setup. That's how it started.
Wow.
And here we are with this.
And that setup is a little bit unusual for you, right?
It totally is. There's actually one sitting over there, a prototype, which we can take a shot of later, but this is what we ended up with because I was really looking, the whole purpose of it was I needed to not be able to tell a fan that my bass cost $15,000 when they came up to me and they wanted to play my instrument. Got really tired of saying, well, you can have a bass or you can have a car. So I wanted to make a world-class instrument, a high-end instrument that was affordable. Quote-unquote affordable, everyone's range is a little different, but that's what we came up with, a limited edition run of master-built, completely handmade by Anders, like I'm holding right now, and now we're going into CNC production as well to bring the cost of the bass down. And here it is, it's a single cup, it's American Elm, it's a Wengi fingerboard.
Hold on, what's the name, what's the wood again?
This is American Elm.
Okay.
And the coffee drinkers will know the connection there. Title of one of my records, but it is American Elm. That was a nice touch from Anders. He's like, how about we do it in American? I was like, that's perfect. Wengi fingerboard. I mean, I won't bore you with the minute details, but it's quite simple. I'm not that technically minded. As much of a pedal geek as I am, it's volume, front and back. It's bass, mid, treble. And we did add a passive tone control on here. So you notice this is the first one to come off the line, and there is a passive tone control on there. I'm holding the Frankenstein, the original prototype. So, but that's it. Kill switch, because everyone loves Rage Against the Machine, and a passive active switch. So just simple, easy to get into.
Aguilar pickups, right?
Aguilar pickups, super doubles, a little closer together than most people have them. The bass started life with only one pickup in, and that was a beautiful classical sounding instrument, but not that functional for the general public. So we're like, we got to put a second pickup in, and let's not have it be super growly back pickup sound. Let's put it a little closer. They are very different, as close as they are, and it definitely suits my style of playing.
It's almost like two variations of a middle pickup type thing.
Almost, yeah. Not woofy over here, not growly over here, kind of a more mellow tone. I have quite a dark tone, so it really suits my playing. I will also say that we put a zero nut in instead of a zero fret instead of a nut. So you can actually string this bass B to G or E to C without changing the nut.
And you do B to C, right?
I do E to C, yeah, and I also have a drop tuner here, which will drop me down to a B. Or whatever I set it to, but a drop tuner.
All right, well, why don't, now that we talked about kind of the overview of the specs, let's hear a few sounds. Let's have you flip through some different sounds, see what we got.
Absolutely. So I love having both volumes wide open. And I'll give you the back pickup. Front. Not too bright, it's pretty mellow, and then both open. And for all the bass players out there that aren't solo bass players like me, let me play some low notes. That's the back pickup. Here's the front one. Total punch, and then both together.
And then was that all in active mode?
That was all in active, yeah. Now on this bass, I don't have the passive tone control, so it's a little bit high end. I would like to roll, for my taste anyway, would like to roll a little bit off, but this is passive. If you have good technique with the right hand, you can control that anyway, you know. But yeah, and then obviously, kill switch.
For your Rage Against the Machine tribute band.
Hell yeah.
So the last little thing I want to talk about is the secret sound hole up here.
It's normally the first thing everyone wants to talk about. So that is actually, it is an F. Hey, come on! It is an F from an F hole. Because the bass, yeah, we probably should have talked about that. The bass is chambered in the top, as you can see in there. Can you see in the camera? I don't know. Yeah. It's chambered. We wanted to have a little bit more of an organic sound, a little bit more of an acoustic sound. Also, there is the added bonus of if you are a touring musician, you're on tour, you're in the hotel, you want to practice, you do get a little more sound out of the bass right here in your face when you're playing acoustically in the hotel room without an amp.
But in this situation,
we're at NAMM. All bets are off, you know?
So what was it about the single cut that's always drawn you to it? Because almost all your basses that you've been known for playing have been single cut.
The Federas, obviously, like a bunch of instruments. I don't know. I like the feeling of the instrument next to me. You know.
Did you ever see a bass player growing up who played a single cut and it drew your eye to it?
No, they were all like traditional double cuts. My mentor was Lawrence Cottle, great bass player from the UK. I'm a fan of Pino, like everyone who played a Fender bass. So it wasn't something I saw growing up at all. I definitely, the likes of like the Matt Garrisons and those kind of players. That was probably the first place I saw it. And this has 28 frets. I probably should have said that as well. 28. So we got high E, low E.
All the octaves are covered.
All the octaves are covered. And when you go super crushing,
when you throw some octave stuff and the mating bird sounds that you do. Yep.
We are out the range of a piano there.
Oh, man.
So yeah.
So tell us about the difference. So you said they're going to be master built and standard.
Yeah, so the master built basically means they're all hand built by Anders in Sweden, and then the standard series is going to be with CNC, also all built in Sweden. We're not farming it out to China or anything. Yeah.
4 and 5 string, single and double cut.
We're doing 5-string only on the single cut, but we are doing a 4-string and a 5-string double cut. Those are still prototyping. They're over here on the booth. Absolutely. But they are still prototyping. We're probably like 6 months out from releasing those.
Oh, okay. Cool. And then what's going to be the price points for these?
So the only price points we have right now are for this bass. For the master build is $7,900, and for the production, the CNC version is going to be $5,900.
For the 5-string?
For the 5-string single cut, exactly. Yeah.
Excellent. So where can people go online to find out more information about all these different basses that you and Mattisson have cooked up?
Well, best place is probably go to janekgwizdala.com or to mattissonbass.com. Those are the two central locations for all information. If you're a coffee drinker, you already know about the podcast. If you're not a coffee drinker, janekgwizdala.com/podcast.
I've heard it. I'll recommend it. I'll hear it. Yeah.
And I'm always talking about this stuff, gear and the YouTube channel, the Instagram page. I'm not shy to put stuff out there, as you well know.
And you're very accessible when it comes to answering questions about anything.
100%, and I'm really trying to do that on Instagram. So if people are wondering where's the best place to actually get some interaction, I'm focusing on Instagram. I'm in the comments. Drop a question, leave me a comment. The chances are I will see it and get back to you.
So now that we've talked through everything, told all the stories, I think people just want to hear you kind of go off and play for a little bit. So we're going to have you play us out for a little while. This is Jason Shadrick with Premier Guitar.
Thank you.